Hello, everyone. My name is Maureen Kashaba, and I am here with Vote Assyrian, and this is Alderwoman Pat Dowell.
Can you repeat your name again? I just want to make sure I have it.
Maureen Kashaba.
Maureen. All right. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Thank you all for joining us today. Vote Assyrian is a political organization striving to promote civic engagement in the Assyrian community, and we are very excited to be here today meeting all of our candidates for Secretary of State. We would like to share for 3 minutes why you believe you're the best candidate to elect for Illinois Secretary of State.
Thank you very much, Maureen. Good evening, everyone. I am very delighted to be here. I want to thank the Indo-American Democratic Organization for organizing this forum this afternoon, this evening, and I'm pleased to share with you why I think I'm the best candidate for the Secretary of State position. I have been a person who has been a public servant all of my adult life. When I think of what motivates me in the morning, it is about helping people, adding value to a person's life, uplifting community. And that has been the guiding star for me for all of my professional life. I am someone who likes to see a problem or see an opportunity and figure out how to take advantage of that, how to bring an idea to fruition, how to make it so that people in the community have more access to the goods and services that they want, to be able to participate in the democratic process, to be involved. I am someone who is a doer. I pay attention to the details. I'm not a show horse. I'm a workhorse. I'm somebody who loves to see something come to fruition and be a benefit to the community. I have a experience of running several not-for-profit organizations. I've been a social worker. I've been a deputy commissioner for the Department of Planning and Development. I'm currently the chair of the City Council Budget Committee. We passed a historic budget under the leadership of our mayor and my office to get all of the aldermen on the same page. So I'm someone who is a consensus builder, someone who likes to handle large problems, who has a history of getting things done and having accomplishments done that are for the people of the city of Chicago.
Thank you so much for that. The next question is, each of the Indo-American Democratic Organization partners, the Indo-American Democratic Organization, the Asian American Midwest Progressives, the IL, the Illinois Muslim Civic Coalition, the Young Democrats of Illinois, Vote Assyrian, Common Cause Illinois, and the Women's March of Chicago, represent an often marginalized community. How will you ensure, as Secretary of State, services and your team will represent and serve our communities, hire diverse staff, and utilize our expertise and counsel as diverse leaders and residents?
Well, I represent a diverse ward now, and have been the head of organizations that have been diverse. I was the executive director of Public Allies, which served not only racially diverse, but also demographically diverse in economics and sexuality and gender. I currently have a staff now that is very diverse, from people who speak Spanish to people who are white, Jewish, African American, male, female, all kinds of people. My ward currently is very diverse in terms of racial differences, demographic differences, and I believe that when you have an ear for the people and a heart for the people, it really doesn't matter where they come from. You know, or what they're doing or the station in life, every person has value. And my goal is to make sure that I represent all interests across the state, no matter what those interests are.
Thank you. What do you see as the largest obstacles to winning this race? And how do you believe you will overcome those?
The biggest obstacle to me is going to be financial. One of the candidates in the race has $3 million, which allows that person to get their message out. The state of Illinois is a huge state. There's a lot of disparity in our state, a lot of hurt in our state, and being able to address all of those needs and get the message out that you're the person able to do it is going to be a challenge. I think the other big challenge is to convince people across the state that someone from Chicago can actually care about their needs in rural Illinois and downstate Illinois, in places from Cairo to Rockford to Alton to Chicago. I think that's the biggest challenge.
And what support do you have at this time in the race to move you towards a win?
I suffer from dry mouth, so. I've gathered a lot of support. I have support from a lot of committeemen in Chicago, a diverse set of committeemen from suburban to Chicago. I have racially diverse support as well. We have a women's for Dowell, Women for Pat Dowell Committee, which is chaired by former Ambassador Carol Mosley Braun and Senator Maddie Hunter, along with other people, other women across the state. We also have a clergy for Pat Dowell. So we're building support throughout the state of Illinois and continue to do so every day.
For many of our communities, translation services are vital. Can we count on you to provide those services in places like the DMV, if it's a form or just any sort of translation service for many of the Illinois residents?
Language access is key, not only in the services provided by the Secretary of State, but also when you look at the literacy program that the Secretary of State is responsible for. We have over 2 million people across the state who struggle with literacy, who struggle with language access. It's very, very important that all of the programs and services offered by the state are offered in different languages, not just within the facilities, but in the libraries, in mobile access. You have to be able to take the services to where people are. And that's something that I'm looking to do to make sure that people within their own communities can access the services of the state.
Yes, thank you. Sometimes the everyday services like the library is where we need it most.
And libraries are, I was telling somebody this morning, libraries are the lifeblood of a community. And we have over 680 in the state of Illinois. All of those libraries should be put to use for the residents where they live. So it's not just about getting a book or using the computer, but to have access to broadband, to be able to access certain Secretary of State services within that location is going to be key.
Thank you. And the final question is, what do you want the audience here today to know that we haven't asked yet?
Well, one thing I want people to know is that I think it's time for a woman to lead that effort at the Secretary of State's office, and that I'm very interested in making sure that women across the state and small businesses and minority businesses have access to the goods and services that are procured through the Secretary of State's office. I think the other thing I want people to know is that I'm committed to safeguarding our right to vote. The Secretary of State in Illinois is not as robust as places like Georgia or Michigan, but we should be, because we're not guaranteed to have a, Democratic governor, 2 Democratic senators, a Democratic state legislature. That's not promised to us. And so we have to make sure that we protect people's ballot access. And I want to do that by working with advocates, the governor's office, the state legislature, to ensure our right to vote in the future.
Thank you so much, Ms. Dowell, for your time and your answers.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated.
Can I say, she held up the 3-minute sign, so I think I don't want to take advantage of those things. I want people to also know that the person who succeeds Jesse White should be a person who's going to be a public servant, right? Someone who's going to serve all of the people of the state of Illinois. Who's going to make the office more efficient, who ensures that we don't go back to the days of scandal and graft and corruption that existed before Secretary White took office, that we need to take the office up to another level. I want people to know that I'm a public servant, that in the truest meaning of that word, and that I seek to make sure that all of the interests of the people of the state of Illinois come first, and that we're going to be an office that is fair, that is equitable, and that provides great customer service. And we're going to take those lines down. You can do things online, as well as if you want to go into a facility, you can do that. But if you don't want to do either one of those, we're going to make sure that the Secretary of State office serves you where you are. I think we've learned coming out of COVID that government has to serve people a different way. We can't do things the old way. We have to figure out new ways, better ways to reach people who need the service.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Anything else? Let me look at my notes. I want you all to know I am also a mother. I have an adult son. I have a dog named Toots. I am a former basketball player and an avid, I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. They won last night, so I'm happy. And I am, someone who has I just have a heart for service and for people, and I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you at some point in the future. I thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.